We got 7 o'clock right now. 7 o'clock in Ely, Minnesota. We have the daylight starting the show. That is always a positive. We've got our Bear Curator and Judy Thone, the Director of Education, here. They are setting up a display, or should I say a work of art, probably. They're going to have a little bit of a program here. We just want to talk about the leaderboard right now. We did move to 12th, and we're at 717, and right now we've been sitting at a dollar amount. Can you run in there and look at what that dollar amount is? Why don't I run in there and look while you're standing here? I'll do that, because I'm going to see where we were at on that. We haven't moved for a bit. Maybe it's just the leaderboard not moving right now, but we are at a total of $22,330, and we're starting the daylight time now. So we're asking everybody out there to help out, do as much as you can, help us. You've done a great job. $22,330 is a wonderful amount of money, is it not?
It sure is, especially this time of day. Yes.
Yes. What would normally be this time of day?
Well, I think we might be ahead of last year, but I'm not sure.
I think we might be too, but we're doing pretty good, don't you think?
Yes, and everyone's doing a knockout job.
So keep it up. We know that we're looking at the chatters. How many chatters we're on now? 24, I think you said?
Yeah, it was 23 or 24 just a few minutes ago.
That's good. That's cool. Thanks for sticking with us. If you've been with us all night, since midnight, or I should say 11:45, we really do appreciate you sticking with the three of us. Our eyelids are getting a little bit heavier. It's getting a little harder, but as that light comes up and we can move around a little bit more, we'll get good. What we're worried about is when the sun goes down because it gets a little bit lengthy in that area. We are, I don't know what the CP just sent me. It says 43, whatever that means. I'm not sure. But it's kind of neat that we can have 43 chatters. 43. You were wrong.
I apologize. There were twice the chatters that I thought there were. So 43. Thank you from our New England crew over there.
Whoa. Yeah. That's really cool. So we got a bunch of chatters. That's wonderful. We're hoping that there's some new people out there, and for the new people that may be experiencing this for the first time, we welcome you. We welcome you to Give It a Max Day. It started at 12:01 this morning, and it will continue till 12 o'clock tonight. And the three of us will be sticking it out for 25 plus hours with a lot of you out there that are also sticking with us. I know there's plenty of you out there that are sticking with us at the same time. Just got to ask you how heavy your eyelids are getting and if you're doing any jaw drops. But it gets real interesting as you get going. But again, anything you can help us with, we appreciate it. $10 donations, if it's $100 and you got the time to do 10 increments of $10, that's great. Or if it's $50 and you can do 5 increments of $10, it all helps us out to get a chance to get to the
golden ticket.
And although we haven't won a golden ticket yet, we really feel that we're
going to win one.
Yes, in fact, we're demanding it because we deserve it. So we're just hoping that sooner or later here we've got how many more chances to get a golden ticket counting this hour's ticket?
Are we at 17?
I think we are.
I think we're at 17.
Maybe 18.
Now we're at 17.
We're not sure, but if you can put that on the chat, what it really is, we're good. If we're at 7 o'clock and it was midnight, that's 5, right?
Good point.
So we're at 18.
All right, we're at that. I'm happy. I'd rather have 18 than 17.
We got a lot of chances left, whatever it is. But either way, we're looking to have a lot of fun today, and we've got a lot of great guests coming. An hour from now, we'll have Donna and Dr. Lynn Rogers as guests. And then Dr. Rogers, I just got another beep on the phone. I'm going to take a look at that in today's technology. It's the same one that I got before. But either way, I just want to say thanks. And now we're going to have Sharon with her 7 o'clock hour of
Bear Care.
Bear Care. I get to be the microphone holder. You're the, you get to hold that. Okay, so go ahead, Sharon. You can hold that. I'm going to sit down.
Why don't you sit down?
Oh, I'm going to stand.
Yeah, we sit down and then we do little walkabouts, something like Honey does, and then we sit back down and start to nod our heads, and then Scott gets goofy, and then we all laugh, and then we get up and walk around again. So he is goofy. So Bear Care is very involved here, and of course, what's the biggest priority that we have in this building, or excuse me, not in this building, but outside this building, is our 4 ambassador bears, Ted, Honey, Lucky, and Holly. Then education about everything. But in order to be able to take care of these bears, they need a variety of foods, and their scat picked up daily so you folks don't see scat all the time. And JT's going to demonstrate. And believe me, so some of the scat gets pretty heavy. So Ted's is enormous.
How many
So
pounds would you say?
as much as he eats, probably about at least 12 pounds each one. Maybe that's an exaggeration. I don't know. It's pretty big. Anyway, so I made a nice display here. I'm going to try to hold it up so it don't fall out. So if the PTZ driver can kind of look, they have right now they're getting romaine, and not so much of the proteins, which is the dog foods. It's a salmon-based dog food that we're using. Some pretty nice grapes. When we want to move our bears, when we talk about moving our bears, when we want them to go into their den, or we want them to do something that we have to move them to put them in their dens for work inside the enclosure, we use yogurt raisins and or with Brazil nuts. So that's treats that they get, and they always get something for doing what we ask them to do. Carrots. This is a poor example of a carrot, but I was tired and I just grabbed one. Pears, a variety of fruits. Apples. These are Honey Crisp. And of course romaine. And we mix their cranberry, which I didn't bring in the peanuts, but I forgot that. But they get peanuts in the shell and peanuts out of the shell. So that's a nice variety of foods that they get for their breakfast and for their dinner. I know right now we're just feeding them once a day, and that is to prepare them to go into hibernation.
It seems like it's a lot of fiber.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
They also that's why we have the scooper. They also get Ted gets tuna. He gets 2 cans with each meal, and Honey gets usually 1 to 2 cans with every meal. And this hides the smell of their medications. Their glycosamine with Ted, it's his Duramax, and when he seems like he's in pain, Tramadol, which gets spread on his dry food. Lucky does not like tuna, and so he gets an egg. And it's a raw egg, it's not cooked. And Holly gets that too, but she does like tuna, so occasionally I do give her tuna. So this is part of their diet plan. I brought the white bucket in because right now with the hoses freezing up, we have to I carry their water up. Sometimes Scott and Glenn help. So we have 2 buckets like this, and I usually make 2 trips for each bear. Now we have all this food, and now we have to see what they're eating daily. And this is something that is required by the USDA. So if Scott will hold the mic, I will hold this book up. And I know that you won't be able to see it, and you can see how thick this is. This is this whole year recorded. And right now we're just recording Ted and Honey because, of course, Holly and Lucky are not eating. But this is recorded their food and the medications that they get during the day. So this is kind of part, it's not, of course, complete of what the Bear Care program is all about, because we also have enrichment. We train our interns, we train our bear educators on how to not only prepare the food, but also clean the bowls. The bowls have to be cleaned after the bears eat. And that's just to prevent the spread of perhaps they have worms. Now, they also get vet checks. Our bears get their spring checkup. If we have any problems at all during the summer, the vet is here within usually the day and sometimes within like just a couple hours. And they get a fall vet check. We also check their scat 2 times a year, in the spring and in the fall. And if it looks like there's a problem during the summer, bears get worms easily. And so we always check their scat for that. And we have to take it in fresh, of course. We can't put it in the refrigerator. So as soon as we get it, we take it right to the vet and they check it. So I'm not sure if I've missed anything. I'm sure I have, because it's 7 o'clock in the morning and I've been up all night. The den cleaning, yes. I was just thinking of that. We in the fall, we start preparing the dens by just giving them 1 bale and then 2, and then just before we think they're going to hibernate, we stick in another one, and then they prepare that to their liking with their bedding. But in the spring, we have to take that all out. So as soon as the snow is gone and we're sure that the bears don't need the straw, that straw has to come out. We bag it up and put it into the dumpster, and make sure that all the straw around their the footings of the dens, the chalet, the haven, all that is cleaned out. Now with Lucky and Holly, since they're in the bunker, it's the poor interns that have to go in, and they throw out with their hand or with a rake as far back as they can get it, and then the rest gets pretty urine-y. And our poor Andy last year went in, and she came out, and I thought she was just going to be exasperated because it was so gross in there. But it's part of the job here, and if you want to do bear care, you know, you have to do everything, not just the good part of getting to do the lectures and taking folks back to talk about the bears. Feeding the bears, there's the other part that's cleaning up after the bears and taking care of all their wellness plan. So did I miss anything, do you think?
Exercise.
But there is a question from the audience.
Okay.
Any idea where we think honey will be?
So that's for future.
We can talk about where honey will den and maybe later on. Her gate is open. She has a choice. She can go into the window or she can be in the haven. Her gate is not locked. She can go wherever she wants. And many times she goes and lays on the other side of the, you folks can't see her, but she is out and about. She just doesn't go, down in front of the windows. So, back to Scott.
So as you can see, Sharon is a wealth of information, and she does a great job taking care of the bears. They also get a fair amount of exercise. Like you said, honey can roam around as she pleases. We have programs that are set up for the bears to be out at different times when they're active, correct?
I can talk about that. Our morning here starts right around between 7 and 7:30. And that's when breakfast gets prepared. And at this, usually in the spring and in the summer, Lucky and Holly are out in the mornings. With Honey, Honey is generally out. If she wants to be, she's out too. But Ted is in. So in order for Ted to come out, Lucky has to go in. Now, that takes sometimes anywhere from just a couple minutes to sometimes 45 minutes to an hour. And if Lucky doesn't want to move, Lucky doesn't move. We've even had to go in and tap him like, Lucky, you do need to get up now. And we usually move him by telling, hey, Lucky, we got your egg. And that word egg, for some reason, he knows that word. and he usually responds pretty good to that. There was a couple occasions this year where he did sleep. He would roll over and, oh, the sun's too bright, or one of those numbers, being very dramatic for a bear, which he is, and he wouldn't get up. But it takes a lot to get him going. He has to sit up, he has to yawn, he has to stretch all four legs, and then he will get up and walk a little bit, sit back down, smell the area around him, get up, walk a little bit more. Usually then he will, go into the bunker, and we lock the gates, both ends, because he can't open them up. So we lock them, and Holly immediately usually comes to her name and goes right into the log cabin and gets her breakfast. After Lucky's in, Ted can come out. So he is out for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on what he feels, he decides. And we put him back in after about 2 hours, unless he goes to his gate before that time. And then the rest of the bears can be out together after that. We will be watching Ted this year with Holly, since he is capable of mating with her. So we will be kind of restricting that a little bit when she goes into estrus this year. So each of the bears get their own amount of exercise, especially the two younger ones who are out most of the day. Honey is out during the day if she chooses to, and usually in the window den. She has been going back. She does like to lay in the back of the deadfall, probably about 100 foot more back from the deadfall, and she likes to lay in that area because it's nice and cool back there. So hopefully I've answered some of your questions, and here's Scott.
Thanks for doing a great job. We also this year were excited about expanding Ted's pen and giving him a lot more room. Some called it a retirement pen in that, but it's really not retired. I mean, he's still got a lot left in him, and he's still a great bear. He's still got lots of energy, so he gets to come out and go in the pond every now and then. But he did get his pen doubled in size, and approval to everybody. I mean, he just loves that area. He really does. But he's in Honey and him being next to each other gives him company, when she's in there, which is nice. And he gets a little feistier then, which is fun. But just seeing him with that bigger pen, and it's a nice spot for him. A lot of new area, and he just seems like he's smiling all the time in there. But anyway, let's get back to Give to the Max and Judy, and we're going to talk about how we give, how it helps us, and how they should look at dividing it up if they can.
Well, yeah, the Give Min, of course, we're in the part of the building here that was done basically with your contributions from last year. This wouldn't have happened without a Give Min donation like you people are making. The mission of the North American Bear Center, of course, is to dispel myths and misperceptions about black bears. And it takes a lot of things to do that. It takes cameras so we can teach youth people here who are listening that may or may not ever get here. We want to teach you people. We want to teach the people that come to the Bear Center. And, just all the things that Sharon went over in about, 10 minutes. We spend a fair amount of time with our on-site volunteers teaching them exactly what we want them to do and making sure that they know the truth about bears as well. So your donations this year are going to go toward what Dr. Rogers has called the facelift for the older section of the Bear Center, shall we say. And there's a number of things that are going to be involved in doing that this winter, but with what's scheduled, it's going to be a busy winter. And, the bears may be sleeping, but the humans are going to be busy as beavers here, trying to make it look just as nice as what you see right here.
Thank you, and we're really excited to get started on that, and after this weekend it kicks in. This is our last weekend that we are actually open at the North American Bear Center, Northwoods Ecology Hall, and it will be Saturday is our last day, correct?
That's correct.
But after that we start kicking in with all of the Well, I shouldn't say we're kicking in with it, but we're going to start in with our wall carpet, and as we can do it with finances, we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to have nice displays set up with the wood-like structures. We're going to take down the carpeted walls. It's going to have a more open feeling. It's basically going to have a Northwoods Ecology Hall feeling. But yet be the North American Bear Center is really what we're aiming for and what Dr. Rogers wants to do. And with the ideas of some out there and many of us, mainly trying to get his, again, vision done, we are going to head toward an area where people are going to walk in immediately and go, wow. And the reason why is, I mean, it's just going to give it an open, fresh, lit up, more balanced feeling to the Ecology Hall. So we're excited to have that. Again, our goal is $60,000. I don't know where we're at right at this minute, but I do know that we need everybody's help out there. And if you can spread to family and friends and anybody that you can talk to at your workplace can also donate. You may have a workplace that is willing to donate a good amount of money for a nice tax write-off. The end of the year is coming up, and it's a nice write-off, and they can utilize that toward it. It doesn't hurt to ask that stuff, but again, we thank you so much for being involved in this and so much for what you've done and where we're going to head. And we'll see you at 8 o'clock with Dr. Rogers and Donna. We'll be excited to have that. Thanks again, and we'll see you in roughly, she's going to get out her Megatron. Wow, we talked a long time, 40 minutes. We'll see you in 40 minutes. Thank you. Bye now.